34. Monoecious plant. Monoecious plant, coconut and cucurbits both are monoecious. Both are monoecious. That is again, in this case, this is a plant. This is a plant. It bears male and female flower both. Flowers are unisexual. Flowers are unisexual. That is male flower and female flower. Unisexual flowers are of two types. One flower is male flower. Male flower, that is, they are called staminate flower. In this flower, male reproductive structures are present but female are not present. Second is female flower. Second is female flower. In this particular plant flower, only carpel is there. So it is called pistillate. It is called pistillate flower. Female flower is known as pistillate flower. So if male and female flowers, they are on same plant, the plant is termed as monoecious. The plants are called monoecious. If male and female are on two different plants, see this one. This is plant A, plant B, and it has male flower, whereas on other plant female flower is there, then this condition is known as dioecious. Dioecious. So what is the meaning of monoecious and dioecious? That is, it is with respect to the presence of unisexual flowers. If both male and female flowers are on same plant, that is monoecious. It is also seen in Z maize. One more example I would like to add here, that is Z maize. Z maize is also monoecious. Z maize is also monoecious. What about the dioecious? Dioecious, that is male and female flowers are on two different plants. 35th question. Heterogametes are produced by. Heterogamete means that is male and female gamete, they differ in structure even in function. First one, fucus, right. Second, volvox, right. Third, cara, right. In all these, male and female gametes, they are of different type. Male and female gametes are of different type. Such gametes are called heterogamete. That is, they do not resemble in the morphology, even in physiology also. Such gametes are called heterogamete. If the gametes are identical, they are called homogamete. If the gametes are identical, that is, we are not able to distinguish the which one is male, which one is female. Such gametes are called homogametes. But if they are easily distinguishable, they are called heterogamete. They are called heterogamete. Majority of sexually reproducing organism, in that case they are heterogamete. This is correct one. Most of the plants are heterogametic. What would be the number of chromosomes in meiocyte and gamete in onion? For this one, you must refer the list of NCERT in which number of plants are given, and that list should be properly in your mind. But here only onion is asked. Onion is Allium cepa, member of Liliaceae. Onion is Allium cepa and member of Liliaceae. Allium is diploid. And meiocyte means that cell which performs meiosis. Cell that performs meiosis. Cell that performs meiosis. That performs meiosis is known as meiocyte. That is known as meiocyte. And for onion, this is right. That is 16 and 8. 16 and 8. 16 chromosomes are found in meiocyte, whereas the 8 chromosomes are found in the gamete. Choose correct with respect to the division during gamete formation. During gamete formation, during the gamete formation, number 1, during the division of zygote of organism having haplontic life cycle. Having haplontic life cycle. See this one. Here the main plant body is haploid. In haplontic life cycle, the main plant body is haploid. Second, they do not form embryo. They do not form embryo. So haploid body, it forms gamete by mitosis, because meiosis takes place in those cells which are having even number of sets of chromosome. So first of all, if the body is haploid, then there is no option of meiosis here for the formation of gamete. So during gamete formation, mitosis takes place. Then as a result of mitosis, two gametes are formed, male gamete and female gametes are formed. Their fusion takes place. What is formed? Zygote is formed. And what is the ploidy of zygote? That is 2n. But it does not develop into embryo. It does not develop into embryo. In that case, the zygote divides by meiosis. Here meiosis takes place and a cell with one set is formed, and this develops into the new plant body. This develops in the new plant body. In entire life history, the zygote is the only diploid stage. Zygote is the only diploid stage. It does not develop into embryo. So that's why if it forms the body, zygote should divide by the meiosis. Zygote should divide by the meiosis. So correct answer is, with the reference of, in reference to the haplontic life cycle, that is mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis and meiosis. Which of the flowering plant groups show internal fertilization only? Internal fertilization, that means takes place inside the female reproductive structure. In case of algae, external. Even in some cases internal, but most of the cases are external. In algae, internal or external is possible, but Brio, Pterido, these two have compulsorily internal fertilization. Internal fertilization, and the same case with the pteridophyte. Internal fertilization. In fungi, may be external or internal. In case of fungi, may be external or internal. So see this one. Female reproductive structure in Brio and pteridophyte is archegonium. This is the female reproductive structure of Brio and pteridophyte, named as archegonium. Is female reproductive structure. Its swollen base is known as venter. Swollen basal portion is known as venter. Elongated portion is neck. And within the venter, at the base, female gamete or egg cell is present. Female gamete or egg cell is present. This is female gamete. This is female gamete or egg cell. Male gamete enters in archegonial venter through neck and fuses with the egg cell. This is applicable for all Brio and pteridophyte. This is internal fertilization. So my answer for this question is B and C. B and C. First one, that is B and C, that is bryophyte and pteridophyte. One more, that is both require water for their fertilization, because male gametes are released by the antheridium in water. Then they are actually motile, reach to the neck of archegonium themselves for fertilization. Fertilization is internal and siphonogamous. This is a word. Siphon, that is tube. Siphon, that is tube. This is the female reproductive structure of a flowering plant, that is carpel or pistil. Within the carpel or pistil, ovule is present at the base. This is ovule is there. And inside the ovule, female gametophyte is there. Within the ovule or inside the ovule, female gametophyte is there, and this is egg cell. And these two are the polar nuclei. These two are the two polar nuclei. This is egg cell and these two are the polar nuclei. Gymnosperms and angiosperm. In both the cases, pollen grain forms pollen tube. This is the case of angiosperm. This is pollen grain. This is pollen grain. This pollen grain germinates and forms pollen tube. And this pollen tube grows and reaches to the female gametophyte. This is pollen tube. It grows and reaches to the female gametophyte. And within pollen tube, two male gametes are there. So, for fertilization, these gametes are carried out by the pollen tube, and tube word is for the siphon. So, if fertilization takes place with the help of pollen tube, it is called siphonogamy, and the type of fertilization is siphonogamous. And internal, because it takes place inside the female reproductive structure. So, it is a case of gymnosperm and angiosperm, both perform siphonogamous as well as internal fertilization. Bryo and pteridophytes, in them the fertilization is zooidogamous. In that case, the fertilization is zooidogamous. Male gametes are motile. They reach to the neck of archegonium themselves. This is archegonium neck. This is antheridium. Antheridium releases male gamete in water, and this gamete reach itself to the neck of archegonium, reaches to the neck of archegonium itself by swimming in water. So, if male gamete is motile, for motility there is a word zoo. The male gametes are motile and they fuse with the egg cells. So, fusion of motile male gamete with the egg cell is known as zooidogamy. So, bryo and pteridophyte both perform zooidogamy. That is, these two perform zooidogamy. And internal fertilization. Zooidogamy and internal. Their fertilization is zooidogamous and internal in bryo and pterido, whereas siphonogamous in case of gymno and angio. Which of the following feature can't? 41st question. Which of the following feature cannot be shown the structure which is vital link, that is zygote, between the two generations? Zygote is termed as vital link between two generations. Vital link between two generations. Here the clear cut answer is zygote. Let's see the features of zygote. Number 1, thick walled. That is right. Maybe thick or thin walled. Both possibility are there. That is generally thick walled because it is resting structure also. But multi-celled wrong. One set of chromosome wrong, because zygote is formed as a result of fusion of male and female gamete. So, they have two sets. Zygote is formed by the fusion of male and female gamete. Male gamete carries one set, female gamete carries one set. So zygote has two sets, that is diploid. So third is wrong. Then it is a meiocyte in some cases. It is a meiocyte, but in some cases, not in all cases, not in all cases, but it is right. It is right. Then resting structure is also right. In some cases it takes rest. So that A, D, E, A, D, E. Here only A, B is thick walled, can be ignored. Thick walled can be ignored. Sorry. In which of the following feature cannot be shown by the structure vital link between two genera ensuring the continuity of a species? In that case, thick walled is an option. Thick walled is an option, but these two are applicable for most of the cases. B and C not at all possible. They are not at all possible, so they are cancelled. But thickening, as far as thickening concerned, it is seen in some algae only. Otherwise, in that is meiocyte in some algae, and resting structure also. So that's why the answer is D and E. 42. Endosperm formation and angiosperm. It is post-fertilization event. It is post-fertilization event in angiosperm, whereas pre-fertilization in gymnosperm. Pre-fertilization event in gymnosperm, in them it develops at the time of the formation of female gametophyte. It is formed before fertilization in gymnosperm and after fertilization in angiosperm as a result of triple fusion. That is, one male gamete fuses with the two polar nuclei. So pre-fertilization event in gymnosperm, but post-fertilization event in angiosperm, and ploidy also differ. In gymnosperm it is haploid nutritive tissue, in angiosperm it is triploid nutritive tissue. In gymnosperm it is gametophytic tissue, whereas in gymnosperm it is sporophytic tissue. In gymnosperm it is gametophytic tissue, whereas in angiosperm it is sporophytic tissue. In angiosperm it is sporophytic tissue, gametophytic tissue in gymnosperm, because it develops at the time of the formation of female gametophyte. It is a part of female gametophyte in case of gymnosperm. Functionally same, that is, both provide nutrition or nourishment to developing embryo. But as far as the structure and development concern, and ploidy concern, they are different. Gymnosperm haploid nutritive tissue, gametophytic tissue, angiosperm triploid nutritive tissue and sporophytic tissue. In gymnosperm it is formed before fertilization and in angiosperm it is formed after fertilization. Question number 43. This question is related with the carpel, the female reproductive structure of a flower in angiosperm, and this portion of carpel is known as ovary. This is called ovary, and ovary develops into fruit after fertilization. Ovary develops into fruit after fertilization. Ovary forms fruit. After fertilization. In fruit there are two structures. One is pericarp or fruit wall. one is pericarp or fruit wall, whereas second is seed. So entire ovary develops into fruit. But pericarp or fruit wall develops from the ovary wall. Whereas seed develops from the ovule after fertilization. Both events are formation of fruit is post fertilization event in angiosperm. Formation of fruit is post fertilization event in angiosperm. Post fertilization event in angiosperm, right? And second thing, ovary develops into fruit. This is ovary wall develops into pericarp, and within the ovary ovule is present. This is ovule. It develops into seed. And what is perisperm? It is remains of nucellus. In seed. Remains of nucellus in seed, right? This is about the perisperm. So 43rd question, the correct answer, ovary forms fruit. Which structure forms fruit? Then answer is ovary. Then ovule develops. What about the ovule? In last description I have already explained, ovule forms seed. These ovule develops into seed. And the last, ploidy of endosperm in angiosperm. See this structure. This is female gametophyte. Or embryo sac. And within this structure, this is egg cell or female gamete. In the neighborhood of egg cell, synergid is present. This is synergid. This complete structure is egg apparatus. Towards chalazo and 3 antipodal cells are present. These are antipodal cells towards chalazo region. And in center, 2 nuclei are there. In center, that is, this is the largest cell. The red one is the largest cell. This is the largest cell of female gametophyte with 2 polar nuclei. Then come to the pollen tube. Pollen tube carries 2 male gamete. This is male gamete 1. This is male gamete number 2. There are 2 male gametes in pollen tube. Male gamete and male gamete of pollen tube. This is what? Pollen tube, PT, that is pollen tube. 1 male gamete fuses with the egg cell and second male gamete fuses with this 2 polar nuclei. Second male gamete fuses with the 2 polar nuclei, that is, both gametes are involved in the fertilization process. Then as a result of fusion of male gamete with the 2 polar nuclei, a nucleus is formed known as PEN, that is primary endosperm nucleus. Male gamete haploid, polar nucleus haploid, and second polar nucleus is also haploid. So N NN, that is triploid pen is formed. It develops into endosperm later. It develops into endosperm later. So ploidy of endosperm in angiosperm is triploid because it is formed as a result of triple fusion. It is formed as a result of triple fusion. Why it is triploid? It is formed as a result of triple fusion. That's all for the reproduction in organism. That's all for the reproduction in organism. Thank you.